Good morning, everyone. I heard a saying this week that said, if you do not come away from spending time with God with an entire list of things you need to get right, you probably didn't spend time with God. I have found this to be true in my life. One of the things God has taught me recently is about love. I hope I will be able to explain it as well as He did. We usually think of love as a feeling, but I believe love is a mindset and a deliberate action. The first thing I will do is to read 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7. This is the love chapter, and it's one of my favorite sections of the Bible. I will read it slowly, and while I read, think about love's characteristics and ask yourself how many of them you have. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. And so we see that love is a mindset. But if you're anything like me, you are constantly lacking one or other of these characteristics. Our default mindset is not naturally love. It can be a mindset of vindictiveness, anger, grudge holding, or pride, but never love. This is where love becomes a deliberate action. Through Jesus, and through the process of sanctification, love as described here can become our default mindset by choosing in each and every situation to mirror Him. As 1 John 4:7 says, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God, and whoever loves has been born of God and knows God." The Bible is such an interesting book. It's so simple, yet so intricate. We can pull something else from these verses. Let's look at the next verse of the chapter I read. 1 John 4:8. Anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. The first thing is that God is love. And so, 1 Corinthians 13 is a condemnation to us, but it is also a magnification of the beautiful qualities of God. We can replace the word love throughout the chapter with His name. God is patient. God is kind. He does not envy, boast, and is not proud. He does not dishonor others, is not self-seeking, is not easily angered, and keeps no record of wrongs. God does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. He always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. God never fails. Does not that give us such a beautiful picture of God? We often talk about God's love, but we can also remember that love is not something that He does, but it is who He is. The second thing is that anyone who does not love does not know God. So since we love God, by extension, people can know Him by our loving characteristics. Through His grace, we mirror His characteristics and others see our behavior and learn to love Him too. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. This is how we can be the cause of change in our homes, in our communities, in our society, and in our world. Imagine if everyone in the world had just one of the characteristics of love. Let's say that all of us were not proud. Everyone would be eager to give way to the other. No one would blow his own trumpet. Can you see just how much better the world would be? But instead of focusing on what could be, let us focus on changing ourselves. And therefore, we can be the cause of change in others. As Romans 12:2 says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is the will of God, that which is good and acceptable and perfect." You, as insignificant as you are, can cause change. God can use you to change someone else. And what about when we fail to show love, which inevitably will happen? We can use James 4:6 as encouragement, but he gives more grace. And again in 2 Corinthians 12:9, my grace is sufficient for you, and my power is made perfect in weakness. And so, we have a lovely picture of God's plan for him to be our example and for us to show the light to others. Let us thank him for his plan and for being the embodiment and personification of love.